Former host of Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen. And for us online folks, the central figure in the Onision investigation has been hit with a civilian harassment charge in Hoboken, New Jersey. Hi, I'm Tommy C. This is Shop from the Point News. This is another twist, more trouble to Catch a Predator host Chris Hansen charged with harassment after money problems and apartment eviction. This is written by Teresa Roca of The Sun. I'll read part of it for you. A civilian filed harassment, communication, and manner to cause alarm complaint against Hansen, 60, in a New Jersey court on February 28th in 2020. The alleged victim claims the offense took place on February 5th, 2020 at 5:40 a.m. That's interesting that she waited 2 weeks to report something like that. A court date has been set for later this month. The charges comes amid financial and legal issues for the Crime Watch daily host. He was arrested in Connecticut in January 2019 for writing $13,000 worth of bad checks. Daily Mail reported at the time of his arrest he owes $57,000 to American Express, $100,000 to TD Bank, $15,000 to Ally Financial, and $1 million to a U.S. Trust Bank, or to U.S. Trust Bank, excuse me. Ally reported that he owes over $200,000 in back predators. To Catch a Predator was on the air for 3 seasons before its cancellation. The cancellation had something to do with a Texas district attorney who believed that he had exchanged pictures with a 13-year-old boy, and Hansen came knocking on the door, and that was the end of the district attorney. He decided to go somewhere else. If I have any chance of monetizations, I can't go into any of that. The article also goes on to Hansen's former wife, or his 30-year marriage, and how it broke up in 2018, and he has a new girlfriend, which he takes pictures with on Instagram. I guess this applies to us in the online room. How does this affect the Onision investigation? Although I do think the Onision investigation has been greatly weakened by some of the online interactions with Shiloh. I think, I don't know if this makes or breaks it, but it definitely gives one more weapon, or a new weapon rather, to Onision to point out the only reason he's doing this for money, which of course is ridiculous. And it's by big YouTubers, this is a common way to dismiss criticism of any kind. You're only doing it for this reason, that reason. It's really just a red herring argument at the end of the day, and because it basically, any kind of criticism that goes towards you has an ulterior motive, and that way you never have to address the criticism directly. But it can't be good. It can't be good. It does play to the idea that Chris might be dragging this particular investigation out for financial reasons. Although I gotta be perfectly honest with you, if this is correct, if this kind of money is correct, YouTube ain't gonna save him from. Let's see, do all the math. 226, almost $1.5 million in people he owes. And according to this, according to the headline, he's been recently evicted from his Hoboken house. And a lot of people think, Hoboken, New Jersey. Well, actually, when I left New Jersey in 2003, because that's where I'm from originally, Hoboken really had turned around. It was a really nice area. It's got a beautiful view of Lower Manhattan. It's become kind of a hipster get-together. I remember I met my ex-girlfriend out there, and the town had totally changed. It's really, really beautiful. And I imagine there's a few celebrities that live in Hoboken. Isn't there? My wife used to watch that show with the Italian guy. I can't remember. And he had a bread place or something like that. And he got hit with a DWI. I can't remember. My wife used to watch it years ago. I don't think the show's on the air, but it was like a little Italian bakery. And when I took her from Germany over there, we went to it. But that's neither here nor there. Sorry, it's me and Tommy gonna get in on arcade night. That's why the lights the way they are. We listen to 80s music and play some arcade stuff together. At least for as long as his 4-year-old attention span. So I apologize for thinking about that and not so closely to Chris Hansen. But getting back to Chris, I'm not really sure I don't think this really hurts things. Now, I do notice that Chris, I didn't get to see the stream, but he did shift from Onision and said he was working on something else, so perhaps he's shifting from it, so it won't have that big an impact whatsoever. But this certainly doesn't help by any means. In fairness to Chris, he is innocent until proven guilty. I find it a little suspicious that a communication in a matter to cause alarm took 2 weeks to report. I think that definitely goes into his behavior. Harassment. It'd be interesting to see who this was. Was it the landlady? Was it somebody next door? I have a feeling Chris lives in a very hoity-toity part of Hoboken, and my experience with New Jersey Richie Rich types, if you were to insult them, they would try to get the police involved the best they can. So I don't think there's probably much of a future of any kind of conviction here, but it's just one more thing. And if you think about his arrest in early 2019, his lawyer being under investigation in Michigan, it just it doesn't make the whole thing look all that great. And I got to be honest with you, from what I can see, the Onision investigation is falling apart on another front. Many YouTubers like myself have been pretty much turned off by some of the behavior of people in that community. Not necessarily the majority of people. I think most people want to see justice when it comes to Onision, but rather the people that want extrajudicial justice, that want to see something now happen with actually a severe lack of criminal evidence. There's plenty of evidence that this person is one of the worst people on YouTube. I would highly suggest The Right Opinion. He's a YouTuber and a friend of mine who recently did a series of videos well over it. It's really a trilogy of movies that are well over an hour, so I highly recommend that. So that's what we brought. That's what we got. That's the most we got on this thing. I don't think there's going to be this is probably the closest thing to Onision news we're going to get, I think, in the coming weeks. I do think this story is definitely kind of tapering off. I've noticed it tapering off, especially in the month of February, and I expect it to taper off even more unless there is some kind of indictment, which I do not expect in the near future, if at all. Thank you very much. Thanks for being part. Like, sub, share, hit the bell, and I'll hit you up with more stuff as I get it. Take care.